We are back with another episode of Ash vs. Evil Dead. Episode 5 is titled Baby Proof, and I hope you're ready to just jump right in because it picks up right where Unfinished Business left off, with Ash coming face to face with Ruby's demon baby and realizing that it's his kid too, and the itty bitty chainsaw hand is a dead giveaway on that one. The reluctant babysitter, her name is Natalie, is eager to kill the thing, but Ash insists on keeping him, not long term necessarily, just long enough to show him to Brandi to prove to her that he's telling the truth. So yet again, another A+ cold open here, a great reveal that raises a lot of questions and also gives us a handful of hilarious beats in just a matter of minutes, a favorite being the revving of the tiny chainsaw behind the closed door. And it sounds silly, but I also love them having to carry that sink around and the playful music cue that comes with it. And speaking of the sound in this sequence, that duck cackle is used to great effect throughout the whole thing. When Ash thinks the coast is clear, he starts exploring Ruby's house and he discovers a wall in the house that looks a lot like that wall in Brock's basement that we saw in the last episode. So while he's doing that, Natalie winds up finding the keys to her handcuffs and she decides it's best to go at it alone. So she bashes Ash on the head with the sink and just makes a run for it. But unfortunately for her, all the doors and the windows in the house are locked and the demon baby attacks. When Ash comes to, finds her body, headless. Before I move on though, I've got to give Samantha Young a shout out for that role. She really just nailed the somewhat slapstick type comedy and really just made a fun pair with Bruce Campbell these last 2 episodes. At this point in Baby Proof, I was pretty satisfied and was just enjoying watching Ash get beat up by this little kid, but then episode 5 kicks it up to an 11, as is Ash vs. Evil Dead tradition. The demon kid crawls up dead Natalie's you-know-what, and we get a fight between Ash and the Natalie body with the demon kid in it, and it gets even zanier when the little kid pokes his head through the hole in her neck. This sequence gives so much weird, disturbing, glorious nonsense. Ash missing a punch because the kid goes back into the body, headless gymnastics moves, and the kid poking his head out through the other end of Natalie too. Ultimately, the action here concludes when Ash gets the upper hand by blocking those holes with bowling balls and trapping the kid in Natalie's body, and then he takes off to show Brandi what he caught. While all that's going on, Kelly and Brandi are still hiding out in the RV. While chit-chatting with the Pablo mouth on her leg, Kelly comes to learn that Brujo still thinks he can save Pablo, even from the grave. After that, we get another fantastic Ash vs. Evil Dead fight, one that's super intense, well shot, and also comes with both great comedy and some clever story developments. Pablo trying to pull Brandi out through the skylight and Kelly trying to hold on is just some excellent choreography and stunt work. I love the bong joke, of course. And then there's also the great fight tactics and the visuals that result from Kelly realizing that Deadeye Pablo and the Pablo mouth on her leg are connected. And all this culminates with a really big moment for all 3 characters. Brandi stabs Deadeye Pablo with the Kandarian dagger, and it turns out that that sends him to a location that I've been waiting to see since catching a glimpse of it in the Season 3 trailer, and it's where Brujo is. Back in the real world, though, Brandi and Kelly watch as Pablo's body starts to become consumed by this blackness that's spreading from the dagger wound, but in this other realm, Brujo explains that this place that Pablo is in is actually a void between worlds that he's managed to mask from evil, for now at least. He also tells Pablo that his body is dying and the evil within him is consuming his soul, but Brujo has a plan to fix that, and it'll help Pablo harness his power and lead the prophesied one. In order to prove himself worthy of that, though, Pablo has to mix his own blood with the correct bowl of blood before him, the blood of his people. If he does this, he'll become the most powerful Brujo, El Brujo Especial. So Pablo takes the test, and thanks to some great intercutting between Pablo in this void and Kelly talking to him in the real world, Pablo knows he's got this, and he makes the right decision. Pablo and Kelly have been so close this whole series, but knowing she's key to helping him become El Brujo Especial makes their connection even stronger. And oh, so does the kiss they share when Pablo comes back to the real world. It's a moment Pablo's been waiting for a long time, so it was a little surprising to me when something else catches his attention right after, but it's understandable. Yeah, he is still thrilled with the kiss, but he also knows the end is coming, and more confident than ever, he just walks off to go and find Ash. Brandi winds up doing the exact same thing, and she's the one that reunites with him in front of the hardware store. Soon after, Ruby joins the fun, and then so does the town sheriff, just in time for Ash to pop the trunk of the Delta and show off what he thinks will finally prove to Brandi that demons exist, but it's just a kid. Just the kid in kid form, not demon at all. But lucky for Ash, Brandi did just go through a lot with Pablo and Kelly, so she finally believes him anyway, and the two speed off together. When a show takes leaps like this, it should spiral out of control, but Ash vs. Evil Dead feels so unstoppable right now. Whether you're talking about the downright crazy action sequences, the wonderfully inappropriate humor, or how the plot is developing, right now, the folks behind this show are making everything work. Really, every time I watch an episode, it kind of eats away at me more and more, knowing this show isn't getting more widespread love. But anyway, back to the specifics in this one. At the end of Baby Proof, our characters split up. Kelly stays at the RV, rips a page out of the phone book, and she threatens Ruby, so I think it's pretty safe to assume that she's off to Miss Previtt's place. So that could possibly put Kelly, Ruby, the Necronomicon, and the dagger in the same location. That makes me think they'd have everything they need to make Kelly Kaya's vessel. And also for Ruby, what happened to that portal? If Dalton didn't give her the location, how is she gonna find and close it? And what even takes priority now? Going there or going after Brandi? Or maybe the priorities have changed and it's getting Kaya out of the book. As for Pablo, I've got 3 questions here. What exactly is he capable of right now? Where did he go off to find Ash? Because clearly he didn't go to the store like Brandi did. And does this mean Pablo and Kelly are a thing now? And I kind of hope so, because that relationship has 2 full seasons behind it. And while I didn't exactly see this moment coming right now, when it did happen, Dana De Lorenzo's performance made it work. Sometimes you need to feel like you lost something in order to fully understand how much it means to you, and that is exactly what I saw for Kelly at this moment. Moving on over to Brandi and Ash, just yes, I've been eager to see Brandi embrace him and everything going on around him, and her experience with Kelly and Pablo was just an excellent nudge forward for that character. And I also love the touch that she gets there without Ash ever succeeding in proving anything to her. That running joke has worked so well thus far, so to continue it with a twist like this was just a great capper for that part of their relationship. So those are my thoughts on Baby Proof, but now as always, give me yours. Hit that comment section below, hi Dewey, and tell me what you think of everything that went down this episode. And now I am wrapping this video up with a Patreon shout out to 2 supporters. We've got David Humphrey and Andrew Walniak. Thank you both so much for supporting the channel. I love it. I love talking about TV and film and building this community here, so thank you guys for helping me make that happen. And thanks to everybody watching right now. Don't forget to like and share this video, and also spread some Ash vs. Evil Dead love any way you can. I will be back next weekend to review episode 6, Tales from the Rift.